Christmas! Oh, beautiful, beautiful Christmas. Right now, someone is about to spend a serious chunk of money on gaming, and there's a good chance they're about to make the wrong call. Console or PC? Debate that has been gone for years. Going. This argument has been running longer than some of your favorite franchises, heading straight into 2026 with prices climbing, hardware changing, and games like GTA 6 already deciding winners and losers before they even launch. And here's the problem. Everyone online screams opinions, including this guy. But nobody actually stops to ask how you play. Because buying a console in 2026 isn't the same move it was a few years ago. But building a PC right now? That's not the easy flex people make it out to be either, is it? One gives you plug and play comfort, the other gives you freedom, power, and headaches you didn't budget for. And the wild part, two people with the same budget can make opposite choices, and both be right. So before you even think about specs, brand, or loyalty, you need clarity, not hype, not nostalgia, not Reddit advice from someone who hasn't upgraded since 2018. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which side you fall on. I hope. Not what the internet tells you to buy, but what actually fits your life, your budget, and most importantly, the way that you game. And yeah, I can already tell by that setup behind you, you're not here to waste money. That's why this matters, to you and to me. Because one of these choices will feel incredible for the first month and absolutely miserable after that. So, let's break this down properly. No fanboy nonsense, no tech snob talk, just real decisions for real gamers moving into 2026. What do you say? Trust me, what most people think is the obvious choice usually isn't, alright? First thing you need to understand is that console and PC don't fail or win on power. They fail or win on friction. Console gaming exists for one reason. You press a button and the game just works. No drivers, no launchers fighting each other, no why is my FPS dying today but it was fine yesterday moments. You sit down, you pick up a controller that was already in the box. Yes, the one. The other one is sold separately. You're in the game, okay? But here's the catch. That simplicity comes with walls. You don't tweak much, you don't upgrade much, you don't escape the ecosystem once you're in. And that's fine, if that's what you actually want. PC looks like the hero on paper. More power, more freedom, cheaper games over time. But therefore, more responsibility. Because the moment something feels off, you become the tech support. Graphics settings, driver updates, background apps, Windows doing Windows things at the worst possible Windows time. If you've been on PC for years, this feels normal, sure. But if you just want to play after work, that friction hits hard. And this is where most people mess up. They compare consoles and PCs on specs, but forget to compare effort. Because power doesn't matter if you're tired. Freedom doesn't matter if you're frustrated. Austin Powers. This is why consoles keep selling. Even when PCs technically win every benchmark and heading into 2026, this gap is getting wider, not smaller. Games are heavier, updates are bigger, launch days are messier. So the real question isn't which is stronger, it's how much nonsense are you willing to deal with to play a game? Because once you answer that honestly, the rest of this decision starts to get very uncomfortable for one side. And that's where things start to shift for you. Here's where things get real messy, right? Money. Always money. Yes, on paper, PC always looks like the smarter long-term move. Cheaper games, more sales, bundles everywhere, and that's true. Therefore, the upfront cost punches way harder than people admit. Because when someone says, I built a PC for the price of a console, they're usually lying by omission, okay, Kelly? No monitor included, no keyboard, no mouse, no headset, no desk space factored in. Consoles don't play that game. You open the box, controller's there, the one. Cables are there, the two. You're gaming tonight, okay, after some updates. But PC, every extra becomes a line item. And if you cheap out, you'll feel it, promise you. Bad peripherals don't just suck, they break immersion, comfort, and patience. Now here's the part that flips the script. At console level budgets, PCs don't beat consoles. They compete. fairly. You end up building entry-level or low mid-range systems that can maybe match a base console, not the pro models. And that's before optimization even enters the chat. So yes, you're getting flexibility, but you're also accepting compromises immediately. Sorry. Lower settings, inconsistent performance, more tweaking, more headaches. And that's why consoles keep winning this price bracket. Not because they're magical, okay, nobody said that, but because they're optimized to hell and back for one job. Now, stretch that budget higher and things change fast. PC starts pulling away, higher frame rates, better multitasking, actual upgrade paths. But here's that trap. Once you cross that line, you don't finish a PC build, you start one. There's always gonna be a better GPU, always a faster RAM, always another upgrade whispering in your ear. You want it. Consoles don't do that. They lock you in, but therefore they protect your wallet from yourself. Kinda. And that's the uncomfortable truth, okay? PC saves money if you already understand PCs. Console saves money if you just want to play games. And heading into 2026 with prices stabilizing but expectations rising, that distinction matters more than ever. Because the moment your budget has limits, right, your platform suddenly has consequences. Now, let's talk about the part that nobody likes admitting out loud. Ecosystems. Because in 2026, you're not just buying hardware. You're buying into a system that decides what you play, how you play, and when you play it. Xbox figured this out early. Game Pass is the quiet assassin here. Low entry cost, massive library, and therefore insane value if you're playing a lot, but not buying everything day one. You pair a cheaper console with Game Pass and suddenly gaming becomes a monthly subscription instead of a shopping spree. You know what I'm talking about. But, and this matters, that library feels a bit like Netflix. Some absolute bangers. A lot of, I'll try this for 20 minutes. It's quantity over precision. PlayStation plays a different game. Their strength has always been moment games. The ones people buy consoles for. The ones that dominate conversations, but therefore, fewer of them. And slower drops. What's changed is the wall. PlayStation is no longer guarding exclusives like before. They're coming to PC just later. Look at what happened to its Spider-Man 2, which creates this weird limbo. Do you wait or do you want it now? And that's where PC quietly benefits without trying. PC doesn't care about brand loyalty. Steam, GOG, Epic, emulators, mods, it's all there. Your library just grows forever. Across generations too, across hardware changes. But here's the trade-off. Consoles gives you curated experiences. PC gives you total access. One protects you from choice overload, the other drowns you in it. And this is where your personality matters more than specs. If you like structure, simplicity, and knowing exactly what you're getting, consoles feel good. If you like control, experimentation, and squeezing value from every purchase, PC feels unbeatable. Neither is wrong, but therefore, choosing wrong for you feels awful. Because once you're in an ecosystem, leaving it is expensive. Your saves, your purchases, your habits. And the closer we get to 2026, the more these systems stop competing on power and start competing on how tightly they can hold you. That's not an accident. Let's bring this home to reality. Where you live and how you actually play. Because platform debates online pretend everyone has perfect internet, endless storage, and launch day access. That's not real life, especially heading into 2026. Consoles sell a simple promise: download, update, play. But therefore, internet becomes the gatekeeper. Day one patches, massive updates, digital libraries only. I have a friend that still has to download updates, but he has a capped internet, so he cannot play. Physical discs barely mean anything anymore. I'm old school. I used to like, in the booklet and most boxes are just licenses with plastics around them. If your connection is unstable, capped, or shared at home, that plug and play experience starts cracking fast. PC doesn't escape this either, but it gives you workarounds: pausing downloads, moving files, external drives, offline libraries. It bends. Consoles don't. Now, let's talk availability. because this one catches people off guard. Not everything launches everywhere at the same time. Some hardware drops later, some versions cost more locally, some models just don't show up yet. PC parts, messy but flexible. You can build gradually, source locally, swap parts as stock changes. Consoles are all or nothing. And here's the sleeper issue no one brags about: storage. Modern games don't respect your SSD 150 gigabytes here, another 120 gigabytes there. Consoles fill up so fast and expansions aren't cheap. PC lets you add space whenever you want, however you want. So suddenly the question isn't performance anymore, it's logistics. How fast is your internet? How patient are you with downloads? How easy is it to replace or upgrade parts where you live? Because the best platform in the world means nothing if you can't actually use it the way that it was designed, right? And this is where a lot of perfect on paper setups fall apart. What looks smart online doesn't always survive real world conditions. And once that reality hits, your choice starts feeling very permanent. So if you're still weighing console versus PC, that's actually the right place to be. It means you're not buying based on noise. You're buying based on fit. Because in 2026, the real difference isn't raw power anymore. It's how your setup behaves every single day. How fast you get into a game. How often you tweak. How much friction you're willing to tolerate when things don't go perfectly your way. I promise you, they won't. Once that choice is made, most people think the hard part is over. It's not. The next mistake usually costs just as much, sometimes more, and it has nothing to do with consoles or PC themselves. It's the screen. The thing you stare at for hours, the thing marketing lies about the hardest, the upgrade almost everyone rushes and almost everyone regrets later. That's exactly why the video on screen matters. It breaks down whether these hyped gaming monitors are actually worth it or if they're just the next expensive trap waiting after you pick up your platform. If you ever felt like your setup should feel better than it does, that's where the answer usually hides. Hit it like if you've ever upgraded something and still felt underwhelmed. Drop your current setup in the comments, console, PC, or both, because the patterns there tell the story most people miss. And don't move yet. That next video doesn't change your setup. It changes how smart your next decision is.